Everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to our Facebook Live. I apologize that I've been missing in action for the last couple of weeks. I did have set to feature our box reveal last week, but all our boxes sold out. So, not a bad problem for us to have. However, if you missed this month's box, you've really missed out on a big gift because they are huge. And those who have gotten our boxes this month can attest to the fact I almost had to get new boxes to fill them up because they were overflowing from our current boxes. I'm going to give a few minutes for people to kind of see we're online and live and let them jump on. Yeah. Give it a second, but then I'll introduce while we're waiting. Cameron, I'll go ahead and introduce you. Cameron from Open Farm is here with us to talk about the Open Farm pet food line that we carry. And we're super excited to bring this line to you because, as many of us do here at the store, and I'm sure many of you out there watching care about the planet that we all reside on. And so it's more than just about caring about the pets that we own. It's caring about the proteins that we feed them and caring about the world we all walk on. And so I think Open Farm is a wonderful pet product that cares about all those different layers, and I think makes it so unique. So Cameron, I'm going to kind of start out with Open Farm and say, tell us a little bit about the history of Open Farm and how it got started.
Sure thing. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Hello, everybody out there. Very excited to be here to share with you the Open Farm story, our background, our philosophy, our practices, what we do, and more importantly, let you know why it's so important to us, our pets, our pet parents, and of course the environment as a whole. So Open Farm has a very, very fun little story, not exactly the most normal thing that happened. I'm going to share my screen to show you a little bit of history real quick. All right, so this is Open Farm. This is who we are. On your screen here, this is Isaac, Jacqueline, or as we call her, Jack, and Derek. These are the owners of Open Farm. We are a family-owned company. As you can see in the middle of the screen, proudly Canadian-owned as well. Isaac and Jack are husband and wife. Derek is their brother-in-law, so it is a really family-owned operation. And of course, you can see all of their fur babies down there at the bottom. The
So
key
cute.
component as to why we are even a company. A long time ago, our owner Jack was kind of driving through the Toronto snowstorms and came upon a pork truck that was going to slaughter. Unfortunately, the conditions, I mean, we're talking about -degree temperatures, just a really, really bad looking presentation, if you will. And it caused her to kind of rethink how she wants to feed herself, feed her family. And of course, it came along with doing a lot of research on her own about factory farming and what that means and what we are putting in our bodies. And as they are fur baby parents, of course, what are they doing for their dogs as well? So she was looking around, trying to find companies that kind of focused heavily on the ethical side and the humanely raised aspect of pet food. And while there is a lot out there, there isn't really one that blankets the entire company, one that really stresses about beginning to end, the entire process needs to fit this model of being a humanely raised product, an ethically sourced product, and a sustainably sourced product as well. So, as any normal person did, she made her own pet food line, and that's where Open Farm comes from. So, here you see on your screen our motto. Our motto is do some good. It's a very, very simple thing that we kind of stress on our day to day, and something that we absolutely want to promote within this industry, not only just from other pet food manufacturers, but also through the distribution channels, through retail channels, and then all the way down to our pet parents as well. So this is something that's printed on all of our bags because we truly, truly believe that we want to do some good in this industry to affect a much larger purpose. And it also helps us to kind of focus as far as what we're doing and why we're doing it. So we stand on a lot of pillars when it comes to releasing products and making product, and of course sourcing and how we do our business. So down at the bottom you'll see we want to adhere to the strictest standards, and we'll go into a little bit of that about what that means to have really, really strict standards. We wanted to be a completely transparent company. We didn't want to have any smoke and mirrors. Everything that we do really is out there, and we really, really want to try to help and promote that aspect of just really being transparent. A lot of pet parents are very aware that, they want to have full access and know where certain ingredients are coming from. And that's really important. Of course, we only want to make something that, only our pets need. We don't want to make anything in excess junk, anything that's not going to serve a purpose. And through a lot of our philanthropic and, of course, our sustainability efforts, we want to help drive some change in this industry to not only be the company that brings, an amazing product first, one that's just, packed with nutrition, but we also want to try to think about the environment, think about those channels, and think about sustainability as well. So this is kind of what Open Farm is in a little bit of a nutshell. And also we make fantastic, amazing foods.
as it so happens. But no, I think it is. I think one of the things that a lot of our customers may not realize, I know I certainly wouldn't have realized if I wasn't in this industry, that we have a pet sustainability coalition that has been forming in recent years to really help with some of these things. But Open Farm has definitely been at the forefront of that.
Absolutely. And we've partnered with them as well, because they share the same vision that we have about sustainability. And it goes beyond just sustainability.
Right. Yeah.
It reaches a larger pool of other issues that pet parents are becoming more aware about and striving for from a company standpoint. Mm-hmm. So again, some of the things that we wanted to make sure that we adhere to is our transparency. Of course, 99% of our pet parents want to know, want to have access, more importantly, but want to have access and know where their pet food is coming from. A sustainability aspect, as far as we want to make sure that the products that we are using to put into our bags of dog and cat food come from the best sustainable source. Everybody wants premium nutrition. It's of course, why wouldn't we? We do what we want to do out here in this way. But of course, we wanted to provide our pet parents with choice as well, because having the same bag of dog food or the same mixture every single day is not very fun. So a lot of what we do as well for pet parents is along these lines to help provide their dogs and cats with a nice variety. It's a lot of fun things to do. So that obviously starts with protein. In the pet food industry, meat is key. Meat is number one. So that is the first and largest things that we attack when it comes to Open Farm and our sourcing. So we want better meat from a better place. Now, what does that mean? So these are some of the proteins that we use: chicken, turkey, beef, lamb, pork, and of course, fish. These are some of the proteins that we use in all of our formulas. We work with a couple organizations, Certified Humane and Global Animal Partnership. Mm-hmm. These two organizations help us source all of our proteins from ethical sources. So what they do is they partner with smaller independent farmers. So not those big guys, not the factory farmers, small independent family farmers that have a lineage and a history of producing these animals that you see on their screen. Some of the things that they do is they go and they regularly audit. I would love to be able to go audit turkey farms and pork farms, but I can't. But they do this for us. And what they are looking for is to make sure that these farmers are following a set of guidelines that they put forward and that we adhere to as well, that has hormone and antibiotic-free raising practices, They are fed a nutritious diet, which is not something that a lot of people think for, pets and pet food and everything, that their food is being fed a proper food as well.
Well, and one of the, not to interrupt, but
Yeah,
one of the things I frequently tell people is that this chicken and this chicken, not necessarily the same if they're not fed a good diet. And so if this chicken is fed a poor diet, the protein itself could cause sensitivities and could cause issues with your pet's health. So it's not necessarily just a chicken sensitivity, it's a sensitivity to the way that chicken was raised.
absolutely. There's a lot of factors that go into the meat and how the meat is raised, if you will. The best example that I can give about a nutritious diet is in the farming industry, the cattle raising industry. A common practice is that candy manufacturers, when they have discarded, broken pieces, they will sell it to companies that are making feed for these animals. That's obviously just a quick and easy way to just fatten an animal up for production. Obviously, like, we're not even supposed to be eating M&Ms and Skittles. Are cows supposed to? Absolutely not. So the practices of a nutritious diet, again, not a lot of people think about, but it definitely lends to the quality of the product that's being delivered. Um, all of our cows, all of our lamb, our venison, grass fed, grass finished. That's all they get. They don't get anything else in between. So that is a perfect example of what it means to have a nutritious diet. None of our animals are kept in cages or crates. They're all pasture raised. They all have nice room to roam. And what that helps with, it gives it a more natural muscle development, which if you or anybody that try to go, purchase maybe like a steak at a restaurant that's free range, grass fed, or even like at a Whole Foods or something, that product is a lot more expensive. It's more expensive for a reason. It's just not, they just don't mark it up because of those fancy words. The process in having those cows, the lamb, the pork, even the chicken, all like that is a lot more costly, but the benefit is a higher quality product. One, obviously free of any kind of hormones and antibiotics. And, they haven't been eating candy their whole entire life.
Well, and the humanity of it too.
Yes.
They are raised appropriately. I know I learned through an open farm training kind of a little bit more about the pork industry and about how pigs are often, tails are cut off and things like that to raise them in more confined spaces. And I was mortified at the thought, and we've become so disconnected from that food chain and so disconnected from how those proteins are raised that we've lost sight of how inhumane the practices can become.
Absolutely. That example right here is what Certified Humane does for us. So Certified Humane is very active in the pet food industry. They're also very active in the human food industry. So it's a lot larger than just feeding your dog a nice product. It does go into feeding ourselves the same thing. So these are 4 examples of what Certified Humane does, aside from some of those things that I mentioned earlier. Of course, number one, the antibiotic and probiotic, the antibiotics and hormones that are allowed to be used, whether it's American or Canadian standards, in traditional farming. A certified humane farmer, it is absolutely prohibited, not allowed. What you just mentioned is called tail docking and beak trimming, a very common practice. It does quell aggression, but when you have that, it's an unnecessary mutilization. And of course, it does have the chance of introducing bacteria and of course, having an infection problem. And then, what happens after that? We don't know. So all of our farmers are not allowed to unnecessarily do any kind of body modifications to any of the proteins. Crowding is a big issue. I mean, people see those videos online of 1,000 chickens stacked on top of each other. All of our poultry farming, as a for instance, they require 50% more space versus a traditional American standard. And that obviously helps with body development and natural growth. We want them to have that space to roam because the muscle structure is going to be more healthier. It's the same thing for us. If we stand in one spot for a very long time, there's no activity, there's no exercise. And the last one not a lot of people think about as well is a continuous sleep pattern. So in the United States, for poultry farming, again, this is just the example for poultry through Certified Humane, the minimum requirement is 1 hour of sleep per 24 hours. In Canada, there is no minimum. A certified humane farmer has to allow lights off, quiet sleep patterns for up to 6 hours. 6 hours is the minimum. If you think about just yourself, how cranky you could be from just not getting a good night's sleep, you're achy, you're tired, the lactic acid buildup, it affects animals the same way that it does us. A healthy night's sleep repairs the body from any kind of stress or damage from the day before. So again, this all goes back to the meat that is being produced for our pet parents, their dogs and cats. How is it done while the animals are still alive? It's a very important process.
Interesting too. One of the things that I think is interesting is that I know what applies to me and applies to all humans is that the more stressed we are by pharmaceutical products, by crowding, being too close to people and being all covered up in each other and not having enough sleep. I would be so cranky. And I know when you are that stressed, when your body's that stressed, your immune system is depleted and you are much less healthy. And so the same goes for the proteins we're raising for our pet products, right? And, we want them to live a stress-free life so that they are, in the end, a healthier protein for our pets. And I think that's such a unique, it shouldn't be a unique concept. But
it shouldn't be, but it is. Unfortunately, again,
my friend is watching, and she said I should be eating dog food. It's better than people, chicken and beef. And one of those things. I really do see a lot of people caring so much for their animals on this level. And while I want people to care this much about feeding their animals on this level, care about feeding yourself on this level too. Because it is, unless a whole lot of us care a whole lot, these changes can't happen. And animals would be treated much more humanely as they're raised for slaughter.
And there's no reason why our loving pets who are our children can't have that same kind of love and share that as well.
Yeah, no, I love it.
So a transparency is another kind of pillar that we definitely put out there to make sure that pet parents and for the stores as well, we want you guys to be comfortable in knowing what you're selling as well. So every ingredient is traceable back to this point of origin. And the way that we do that is simply on our website, openfarm.com/transparency. Every product that we create, whether it's a bag of food, a bone broth, anything that we create, we have batch code information on there that you can go to our website, fill it in, and you will be able to see a full entire list of every single ingredient that is in that product, the point of origin, and a nice little description about what the product is. On that same page, for that product that you are holding in your hands, you can also see a full third-party testing results on things like Listeria, E. coli, Salmonella. It's all out there. It's all online. We are very excited to have this because, again, this feels like this is kind of a no-brainer type thing. And while there are a lot of companies that do this, we feel like we're doing the most. We're doing it the Open Farm way. We're very open about where all of our supplements are coming from, the vitamin supplements, the mineral packs, everything is out there. So a prime example, which you could see if you do the transparency part on our website, this is a sample. This is our puppy recipe. And as you can see, the first ingredient, humanely raised chicken. Point of origin, the United States, Pennsylvania, Virginia, New York. and it is certified organic deboned chicken. That's it. So it does that for every single ingredient going all the way down the bag on the ingredient deck that you're looking at. And that's really important for us because, again, we don't want you at the store to sell something that you're not confident in. We don't want pet parents to be feeding something that they're not confident in. And one thing that I do absolutely recommend, if you're thinking about trying an open farm product, pull out your phone while you're at the shelf, look at it for yourself, and you can actually see every single ingredient before you even purchase the product for that particular thing that you are holding, which is a really cool concept that I don't think it's used enough. I recommend it highly, and it's just kind of cool to see where some of this stuff comes from. Um, One of the biggest things that you'll see is obviously nothing is going to be sourced from China. Everything, all of our sourcing is from the best possible sources. So we utilize places like Italy, Germany, France, amazing spots for when it comes to our vitamins and mineral packets. Depending on the protein, it could be from New Zealand, it could be from different United States. You'll be able to see it's a really, really cool concept. And of course, when I came aboard and I started learning about this, I was absolutely blown away. I've been in this industry for 13 years and I've never seen a company that is as transparent on the sourcing of the product as we are. It's really, really cool. So another thing that obviously we wanted to talk about is our sustainability efforts. So our sustainability efforts are, in my opinion, a lot larger than we typically lead on. First and foremost, again, always going back to the proteins. Our fish, we are utilizing an organization called Oceanwise. Oceanwise helps us to have sustainable fishing practices, which is pretty unique because a lot of people think you just throw a net out there and you pull up fish and you kind of sort which one. It's not what happens. And one of the things that Oceanwise does is they ensure that the protein, the specific fish that we want to use is only the one that is brought up. It's kind of unknown, but if you just throw a net out there and start pulling up fish, you're going to pull up a lot of things you don't want to. And obviously one of the big ones, kind of near and dear to my heart, of course, is turtles. A typical traditional fishing vessel will bring up turtles, and we don't know what happens to them. Hopefully they just put them back and everything's okay, but you can never guarantee that. So Oceanwise works with the fisheries to help them to design and implement nets. This is just a for instance, that are anti-turtle. A turtle cannot get into that net, but the fish can. So these are some of the things that we do and with Oceanwise to ensure that not only are we making sure that we're only looking for the fish that we want for our formulas, but they're all going to be line caught. We're not catching anything that we don't want, and that we're not messing up a particular fish's migratory pattern or spawning pattern or mating pattern or anything like that. The impact on pulling up fish is a lot larger than some people think. You can kind of guess, but a lot larger than what some people think. So when we go, hey, we would like to fish for herring, Oceanwise will say, well, not right now. And they'll give us the reasons. So we'll say, okay, what about Pacific cod? Sure, let's go for it. And all of our fish proteins are, of course, 100% ocean caught wild, nothing farmed. So again, that goes back to no hormones, no antibiotics, anything like that. So it's a lot safer, a lot more natural way to get those fish anyways. And of course, our recycling efforts are extremely important to us. We partner with TerraCycle, an organization that helps to break down pet food packaging, but not just pet food packaging, a lot of different packaging. About 95% of pet food packaging on the shelf today is not recyclable. So we partnered with them to come up with all of our packaging. Every single thing that you can put on the shelf, that packaging is going to be 100% recyclable through TerraCycle. Whether it's you, whether it's the store, they collect them, send it into TerraCycle. They take that product and turn it into like little plastic pellets. And then from there, they make playground equipment, park benches, all kinds of fun stuff.
We have collection bins here at the store.
I was
So
going to say
we
that.
collect. We
Yes.
call it TerraCycle, and we are very proud to be able to do that for everyone, to give away, to not allow those bags of food and bone broth containers, things like that, to go into the landfill. This is a way to keep all those consumables out of there.
To date, we have processed through TerraCycle about 380,000 bags through TerraCycle. So that's basically the way that we look at it. This 380,000 bags that have not gone to a landfill and therefore become unrecyclable and does not break down. So again, when it comes to, why we do this, we want to have an impact on the environment, but of course we also want to inspire other companies to do the same as well. And we have actually recently just made a pledge to be completely carbon neutral by 2030. And that goes from everything that we touch. So that is the manufacturing part, that's the transportation, that's even me doing my job on a daily basis. We want to, by 2030, be completely carbon neutral. So that,
wow, that's an amazing promise, or an amazing goal, because 2030 is really not that long away.
No, and it's all going to be science-based as well. We're very much firm believers on the fact that science can help us get to that point. So that's what we are doing.
Perfect. I think that is fabulous. And we have always loved partnering with Open Farm. But one of the things, somebody walks through my doors here at the store and they may say, I want the product that is the most humanely raised and the best for the environment. Open Farm is it's a dovetail into both of those things. So we love Open Farm here. And love all of your products. So now that we're on to product lines, tell us a little bit more about the product lines.
Sure. So we make dog and cat food, again, going back to the concept of we only make what's necessary. So the great thing about how we do what we do is all of that information about the sustainability, the humanely raised aspect, the ethically sourced ingredients, that translates 100% into the quality of the product. When you're looking at, say, our beef, all of our beef, it does not matter if it says Open Farm and it says the word beef. That is Wagyu beef. Wagyu beef is one of the most expensive and highest end version of a beef that you can have. That is our minimum. That is what we are putting in all of our bags. So all of that information about our company practices, we don't do that just to pat ourselves on the back. That directly translates into the quality of the product, and of course the quality of the product that you're bringing home to your dogs. I mean, again, you have people come into your store that say, show me your best dog food. We kind of feel like we're in that conversation because all of those practices, we do not come out with a single product unless all of those check boxes can be checked, unless it's completely sustainable, ethically sourced, humanely raised. If we can't do that, we're not making the product. We've had requests for certain people have requested for a specific style of protein, and we can't do it because it's not done in that same practice. So our offering that we have, let me see.
And now.
Here we go. So this is the entire Open Farm offering. Grain-free kibble for dogs and for cats, ancient grain kibbles for dog, our wet food that we have, what we call rustic stews and rustic blends for dogs and cats, freeze-dried raw, everybody's favorite, treats. We have my new favorite product in the world, are gently cooked, and we have some really nice supplements as well that can be used for supplemental feeding, but also for finicky eaters. But what's kind of nice is if you look at this whole screen, there's a lot that you can do to build the bowl. So we are a bowl builder brand. We are a firm believer that a dog or a cat should have more than just a kibble every single day. Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, when we talk about things like kibble, All of our formulas, whether they're the grain in, the grain free, doesn't matter, are all rotational. The biggest change between each bag is going to be just the named protein. So we definitely are, we recommend rotational style feeding because obviously salmon has a much completely different property than say a turkey or a beef or a venison. And then the flavor profiles as well can be extremely different. That helps with finicky eaters. So we create all of our products, and it's kind of nice that they're kind of color coded too. But on the screen, you have 4 different products, all from the same awesome sourcing that provide different kind of tastes and textures, and it can all be in one bowl. So you have our freeze dried, our kibble, our wet food with our Tetra packs, and you have a nice little treat on the side as well. All 4 of those are can be used to build this amazing bowl. So we really can focus in on finicky eaters and your needs as a pet parent. So kibble is the foundation. Kibble is the greatest thing as far as just your everyday feed. But for some people, they do want to add a little bit something extra. So that's where the wet foods, that's where the gently cooked, that's where the bone broths do help to enhance that bowl, enhance that flavor and formula. And what's kind of nice is if you have any kind of specific issues with protein related issues, you can really kind of narrow everything down with our product line. I'll go back real quick here. If you see a red package, like a nice red package, that's beef. So you can see that we have beef in a lot of different forms. So if you do have, a particular sensitivity towards a specific protein, most of the time it's going to be something like a chicken or poultry. You can utilize our product in that way to provide a full diet using 5 or 6 different things, all within the same portfolio. So what's kind of nice, all of our kibble, the named protein on the front, beef, pork, turkey, lamb, that's going to be the main protein. And instead of adding things in like chicken, chicken flavoring or anything like that, we actually use just whitefish. So in all of our formulas, we have like pork and whitefish, beef and whitefish. So anybody that has any kind of allergy sensitivities towards any kind of proteins, we can really help with that because a lot of our products are either going to be single sourced on the protein or it's going to be a single protein source and then whitefish added to it as well. A lot of the fat, preservative type things, instead of using, things like chicken fat, pork fat, beef fat, we use coconut oil. We use salmon oil for like some of the fish stuff too. Mm-hmm. So any kind of allergy sensitivity issues, we can be looked on as a solutions-based diet as well. So, there's going to be one talking point that you can kind of see up in the top right corner that's going to fit for every single product we make. The industry-leading certifications through third-party organizations like Certified Humane, Oceanwise, Global Animal Partnership. All of our fruits and vegetables are all non-GMO. Nothing that we create has antibiotic or growth hormones. And of course, all of these farms are third-party tested to make sure and audited to make sure that what we say is what we mean, is what it's in the bag. No, again, no smoke and mirrors, no trickery of any kind. So our grain-free diets for dog and cat, great diets, very simple. They are a high meat, low carbohydrate diet. So about 80% of the protein that's in that bag is coming from a meat source. The rest of it is going to come from some of the binder sources like chickpeas. We have poultry-free options. We have potato-free options. And we do use a lot of superfood supplements like turmeric, cinnamon, coconut oil in our formulas. And that obviously helps to enhance the flavor profile and also the nutritional aspect that our dogs and cats can get. Our ancient grain recipe. So ancient grain is basically a term for low processed or no processed grains. A big resurgence in grain formula. So of course we wanted to do it our way. We wanted to do it the open farm way. again, starting just with the quality of the sourcing and all the ingredients, we are using quinoa. We're using steel cut oats, not oatmeal. And that's going to be a little bit of difference maker, at least in some of our opinions, because those ingredients are going to be a higher nutritional profile versus the alternative. So the fiber that you can get, the protein that you can get, the vitamins and minerals are going to be a higher standard. All of these formulas, of course, are going to be free of peas and legumes and potatoes. 90% of the protein that is in these bags are from from animal sources. The other 10% are just going to be from the grains. So between the grain-free and the grain-in, there are really, really nice options that complement each other. My little pit that I have, I rotate her through all kinds of formulas. Right now, she's eating our grain-free venison. Her next bag is going to be our ancient grain turkey. I'm fortunate enough that she doesn't have any sensitivities or allergies, so I can do that. But again, I'm introducing new proteins. I'm introducing new styles. I'm keeping it interesting for her. She is not getting caught up on the same thing consistently over and over again. It just makes mealtime a little bit more special too, to be able to offer that.
Well, so many, I talk with so many customers both about the benefits of rotational feeding from the completeness of the amino acid profiles. But in addition to that, the bowl building, I taught, and unfortunately my friends all know this, you start talking about feeding a pet, the first thing I'm going to say is, what moisture are you putting in that kibble? And the benefit of adding in that bone broth and all of the goodness that a bone broth can offer your pet. But just from a nutritional standpoint, how much more powerful it makes the kibble that you're feeding.
Absolutely. It unlocks everything within that kibble to make it a tastier kibble, to bring out that fat content for the flavor. And for certain dogs, of course, it does help, and cats, it does help to break it down a little bit easier, so that, heaven forbid, there's teeth problems, stomach problems. Adding moisture into the diet is the first and easiest thing to do for dogs and cats with any kind of mouth or digestive irregularities, and they just need that little extra boost.
Yeah, and just how it opens up the cells for nutrition uptake and things like that. It's a big thing here. We're really big proponents of adding moisture, even if what you start out with is water. But I say, if you add water, why not add bone broth? Because it can make it so much more powerful. But I do love that you have the complementing bone broth to go with and add into what you're already feeding.
So one of the things that you can do with the bone broth is add it to the freeze-dried. The freeze-dried for us is a full and complete diet. It is a topper. It is a treat. It is a training treat. It's a very versatile product that we can use in conjunction with our kibble to enhance the diets. One of the nice things about the way that we do it is they're little tiny, not tiny, but they're about this big nuggets that you can break. So they're a lot easier to feed, a lot less mess and crumb with it as well. 85% is going to be meat and meat sources, and the other 15% are just going to be, dense leafy greens, the coconut oil, the turmeric, cinnamon. It does help to have a little bit more of a well-rounded diet. And one thing, I live in Florida, and one thing that we have to have is hurricane preparedness kits. Freeze-dried is an incredible thing to use for hurricane or just general storm preparedness kits, because that sitting in the package can last a lot longer than a bag of food. So always worth an idea in case, there's hurricanes, tornadoes, really bad thunderstorms, power outages. Great alternative to having a bag of kibble that might turn at some point. The freeze-dried is awesome for that. Now, my favorite topic, gently cooked. So obviously there might be some questions, so I'll be more than happy to answer whatever I can. But gently cooked has become one of my favorite things to talk about, one of my favorite things to promote.
Very excited about this category. I think it is a great category. It's the nice complement in between, from like say a kibble up to a raw. If you're not ready to go to raw yet, or you feel maybe you have an immune compromised pet and you're not comfortable with the level of raw, but gently cooked allows you kind of that kill step for what you're adding in your pet's bowl. It's such a great product. I love gently cooked.
So first and foremost, the great thing about our Gently Cooked, it is made in a human grade facility, so it is 100% human grade. Grab a fork if you want to. It just needs a little bit of salt, maybe a little pepper, but that's the quality that we're bringing to the table. So what is a Gently Cooked? Gently Cooked, kind of like what Allison said, it's in between raw and kibble. What's really nice about it, for those of you out there that are going through the hassle of feeding your own, cooking for your pets, for one reason or another, this is the option that you can do. And what's really nice is because obviously with the sourcing and all the ingredients, it is a much, much better product, a lot cleaner product as well. But we do have the appropriate vitamins and minerals to ensure that it's nutritionally sound for an everyday feed. So if a vet goes, hey, why don't you start cooking for your pet just for a little bit? Because there can be issues sometimes. This is the best thing. I don't even want to say it's the next best thing. This is the best thing. We've gone through all the process to make sure that it's easy to do and, more importantly, nutritionally sound. So all of our diets are cooked sous vide style, which basically means we have a BPA-free packaging that we put all of the raw material into, seal it up, and then we place it into a water bath. Now, in that water bath, the temperature is slowly rising. Now, when I say slowly rising, it starts at like a room temperature, what typical water is, and it goes all the way up to 165 degrees. For some people, that shouldn't be that long of a time, but it's a 3-hour process, hence the name Gently Cooked. The reason we want to do that is we don't want to shock all of those good nutrients. We want them to stay in there. We want them to be healthy and active. So the slow cooking process helps us to guarantee that the product is soft, malleable, easy to eat, easy to spoon out as well. But then also it maintains its nutritional integrity. Now, being as that they are cooked sous vide style, one thing that we can obviously help out with is the product that's listed, 16 ounces, 8 ounces, whatever the case may be, that's the weight of the product from cooking. All of that nutrition, all of that moisture, all of that good, healthy fat that's great for flavor is in that product, and it's held in there. It stays in there. So not only do we have a product that is a full feed, this can be the 100% thing you feed. It is a great topper for those of you that want to put it next to the bowl. That's your nighttime feed, whatever the case may be. It is nutritionally sound. It's very easy to use. And it's great, like I said, for those people that may want to cook for their dog or don't want to do kibble or don't want to do raw. It is that awesome in between. Some of the ways that you can do it, like I said, it's a BPA-free package, so it is safe for you to get like a nice slow boiling pot of water, toss one in, let it warm up a little. Don't cook it. It's already been cooked. Let it get warm, and then that's it. Other people like to just kind of leave it out in the refrigerator, let it thaw, serve it cold. I have heard of some pet parents that actually serve it chilled, so it's a little icy for certain dogs that like to have that. I used to have a dog that liked to eat ice off the floor if you dropped it from getting it from the tray.
Well, on these 100-degree temperature days, I think most dogs
Absolutely.
and people want to bathe in ice. It's so warm here, so I can understand that.
Absolutely. And this is what the product looks like. It's amazing. It looks so good. We serve it in a beef. We have it in a turkey, a chicken, and then we have what we call surf and turf, which is beef and salmon. Again, super clean, made from simple whole foods, 100% human grades, always no probiotics or antibiotics, hormones, anything like that, grass-fed beef, certified humane through Global Animal Partnership, certified humane and Oceanwise. Of course, non-GMO fruits and vegetables. What's really nice about this product, it's high meat, low carb, and obviously free from any potatoes or fillers. So people that want to avoid some of those ingredients and just want to do like a meat and veg, I guess you would say like a keto diet, this is an awesome alternative to cooking for yourself. Cooked at a low temperature, so obviously the benefits from all of those ingredients are held. We have some super fruits in there, super foods. Great as a complete meal topper as well. This is going to be available in the freezer. It is a frozen product. So we do make a 72-ounce box, which is a little bit of a larger size for those that want to maybe store some as well. But for me, for my purposes, what I do with my dog, she doesn't get this every day, but Sunday supper type things. I definitely give her some of this because she just loves the taste of it. She eats it first and then chows down on the kibble because there's a nice moisture value that seeps down into the kibble that provides a little extra flavor for the kibble as well.
Yeah.
Our Tetra Packs. So again, being the company that we are, we wanted to create a wet food product. So first and foremost, we're using the lined cardboard Tetra Packs, which are safer. They are resealable and they are way, way more recyclable than your standard steel cans. All of those same concepts that we talk about as far as the sourcing and all the ingredients all hold true. This is another product that's slowly cooked. However, it is shelf stable, so it does not need to be frozen. It is, a standard wet product that's chunk style too. So you get good chunks of meat, some of the vegetables in there as well. Have some dogs, have some cats, single protein sources. Some of them are multiple protein sources. So a nice wide variety for everybody. Our treats, these are all dehydrated treats. They're very simple. Our beef treats are turkey, chicken, pork, 90% meat, and then we just have a few of some of the other ingredients in there to kind of help with the binders. So it's a meat majority treat. Our favorite one, the smelliest one, is going to be our
They are smelly.
It is so smelly. Single ingredient, it is a cod skin. Now, it's my favorite because it's the one that is the most popular. Dogs, cats, they love this treat. This could be an outside treat for some people. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little stinky, but the most important thing is obviously it's good for the dogs, good for the cats as well. So our bone broth, again, another exciting product that is very nutritionally and health conscious for dogs and cats. This is a fantastic product for cats as well. Our bone broth, again, the bones of some of the animals that we use, so in this case, turkey, chicken, and beef, they are slow simmered for 18 to 24 hours. Then we add things like carrots and turmeric and cinnamon to round out the nutritional and flavor profile. And then we put it in this handy dandy resealable package that is easy to use. Obviously, we can use this on top of the kibble itself. Great taste incentive. The moisture that you get from a bone broth is very much different from a moisture from water. So there's a lot more beneficial properties. This has good protein in it, low fat, awesome source of collagen, easy to reseal and reuse. An open container can last about a week, but most of the time it's not even going to last that long because our dogs and cats love it so much. Again, the idea of using it on top of kibble, on top of freeze dried to rehydrate the freeze dried, but using it in kibble is a lot more healthier version of having a kibble. And that's why we stress a bowl builder mentality, because that does create a more nutritionally sound feeding every single time. It unlocks the flavor, it unlocks the nutrition, makes it easier to chew. Finicky eaters, this is my number one thing to try.
Oh, yes. Oh, it helps so much.
Absolutely. If you don't want to do a can, if you don't want to do a Tetra Pak, if you don't want to do gently cooked, freeze dried, and all the other things that we talk about, do this. This will change your life when it comes to a finicky eater.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is our frozen probiotic supplements. So we create cow's milk kefir and goat's milk kefir and also goat's milk supplements. These are all, again, frozen products that provide a lot of different beneficial properties. So the kefir, it's a great blast of probiotics. So The good thing about what I like to promote this for is people that are having sensitivity issues, maybe some loose stools. You need some help in the stomach area. Our kefirs, 12 billion live probiotics per ounce, 11 different cultures that are in there as well. So you're looking at, the dog version of Activia yogurt. This is something that's fantastic for making sure that we're correcting some maybe imbalance in the digestive system.
Yeah.
It's something that I wouldn't do long term because it's a good blast for like healthy digestive health, but it's not something that's needed long term. Some people, of course, absolutely can. It's easier to use when there could be some issues. Great for digestive issues, great for allergy issues, great for bone health, anti-inflammatory, immune boosting properties, high in B12 supplements, incredible vitamin A supplements in there as well. It's like a B12 shot right in the arm for dogs and cats.
Well, and a healthy gut, there's so much to be said for a healthy gut for all of us. Healthy gut leads to so much better immune system and immune responses, but it just all over can help. If you have a leaky gut, if you have a gut that's not properly balanced, you're going to see it all over the pack. Poor coat, dull coat, all the way to immune system issues. So we are such big believers in kefir and goat milk here. Such big believers.
All of that beneficial health starts in the gut. We've heard it almost our whole life now.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, our goat's milk supplements. So this is goat's milk, and we have 3 different versions. We have a digestive blend, a relaxation blend, and an antioxidant blend. We're using organic ingredients in here. So like the antioxidant blend, we have our goat's milk, and then we have organic spinach, organic blueberries, organic raspberries in there. And what this is a taste incentive. This is a hydrator, great for hydration. And then all those awesome benefits from a natural goat's milk and some of those really nice organic ingredients on top of that. Everything works together. And again, it goes back to us. We just don't make like goat's milk. I mean, we want to do something unique on it. So we have goat's milk that, again, all kinds of amazing properties inside of it to begin with. And then we have these organic ingredients for these specific issues that some people might see. This is one that I absolutely recommend people can use every single day. Very, very, that calcium that's in there, the potassium, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very helpful. So a couple new and updated things to announce that you'll see here soon. Our bone broth was such a huge success, we made it in a bigger package, which is kind of fun. So this is a 32 ounce. The previous ones were 12 ounce, 32 ounce. A lot of, large dog, big Goldens were just pouring through those bone broths. So we made a larger one. Same formulation, same sourcing, same everything, high quality across the board.
Multi-dog household where you add bone broth for everybody.
Dog and cat household as well.
Yes, very true.
And then this is just a little bit more of a housekeeping type thing, but we're revamping our treats. We're changing the packaging a little bit to color block, make them look a little bit nicer. They are going to be a lot more meatier. They're going to be softer, easily break apart treats. A lot of good information, obviously, just within the packaging as well. But of course, industry leading standards when it comes to the sourcing on all of our products. Thankfully, our cod skins are staying exactly the same, those stinky little things. And, this is just a nice little fun update for people that already feed our treats. They're about to be so much better, much more palatable, and much easier to use as well. And you know what? That's it. That's everything.
Yeah. Well, I know my troops are getting rowdy here. They've come alive here in the last few minutes. They've decided to start stirring. They were sleeping on my lap for so long. But I think it's been fabulous. And I think such wonderful information for our customers to know kind of more depth on the brand and to know, of course, myself and those of us who make choices here on what gets brought into the store and what we trust, it's so nice to be able to go in depth on the reason we made those choices. And I think every consumer that we have is concerned on some level about all of these different things that Open Farm is based on. And so I think it is powerful information to get into the hands of our customers so they can know why we love Open Farm. And why they should too, because you guys are doing great things.
Well, and it's beyond that, it's just a fantastic feeding product as well.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, and so we're super excited. We'll be bringing in some of those larger sizes of the Gently Cooked. We don't have them in stock yet, really only because we don't have enough freezer space. But if you are a customer who's watching and you want to try it in a larger size than what we have, we will get it in for you. It's not that we can't get it, it's simply that we can't store it. And we are looking to fix that problem very soon, and I can't wait until we do, because then we'll have the full line of the Gently Cooked in all sizes. But now we just have the small sizes. So you can come in and try it out. If your pet loves it, which I'm sure they will, then we can special order for you in larger sizes.
And I tell you what, because for those watching, if you come in and you mention this stream, All Pets Considered will be happy to give you a free 8-ounce to try of our Gently Cooked. And all you have to do is mention that you watched me and you listened to me on this stream.
Fabulous. Yeah.
More than welcome to take one home and try it.
That'd be great. It really is a great product and a category that we're really excited about. My girls gobble it up. Yes, I know you do. She's like, I'd like some now. So far, I don't see any questions, but some comments about how wonderful it is and how much they've really enjoyed learning about it and what great variety you guys have, which is all, of course, very true.
That's one of the most important things. We want to offer a nice wide range of products so our dogs aren't just eating the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
We want it to be exciting. We want mealtime to be exciting for our pet parents as much as it is for our pets.
Very much. Well, thanks for joining us, Cameron. I really appreciate you giving us your time and going so in depth on Open Farm. We really appreciate you being here. And if you have questions after watching this and you're not watching it live, please leave us a comment. If I can't answer it, I will certainly get your question to Cameron and get you an answer right away. So please leave us any questions you might have or come into the store and talk with our staff. They, of course, know Open Farm very well and can help you too. So we appreciate your time, and I hope everybody has a wonderful Friday afternoon. And next week, my Facebook Live will be conducted from Super Zoo. So it's going to be on Thursday, and we will be having a Facebook Live, hopefully, barring any complications there, going live in the auditorium. We'll be talking about some of the fun things we've seen and tell you a little bit more about what we do when we're at trade shows. So thank you, Cameron, and we look forward to seeing everybody next week on our Facebook Live, and hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you guys so much.